Yeah, we started compound interest discussion now. Okay, introduction and simple interest is completed in previous okay our session or previous video. You can see that. Now let's go to the compound interest related questions. This is the first question, and that was sir, out of 15 questions, why six only from simple interest? Why nine from compound interest is? Okay, if you attend the introduction, we clearly mention everybody is following now compound interest only. There is nothing. Simple interest is nobody is following. It's ideal case. All are following compound interest only. Compound interest is very important. In fact, those who are preparing for SAT exam and all, okay, in SAT exam they given only compound interest. Simple interest is not there. Okay, SAT exam, what? Okay, you can see that they given only compound interest related stuff, not simple interest. Because which is applicable everywhere now is compound interest only. But sir, then why you discuss simple interest means still some companies giving simple interest questions also, and you have to know the difference between those two. But more trendy is compound interest. You take loan from bank or loan from some person or some private bank or government bank, everybody is applying compound interest concept only. Right. At least focus today's session clearly if you are not done with the previous session. Okay. Here, what they given rate of this is called rate of interest. What is the rate of interest? 8% per annum means for 1 year. They said compound half yearly means every 6 months. Rate of interest is 8% for 1 year, means 4% for 6 months. Can we say that? Is it or not? Rate of interest is 8% for 1 year. 1 year 8%. Then for 6 months it must be 4% only. Okay. Then how many years after they are asking? At the end of the year. In 1 year, how many half yearlies will come? In 1 year, how many half yearlies will come? Two half yearlies, right? So we discussed already introduction three methods to handle compound interest. Okay, I'll discuss two at least now for this question. Now see how to handle question. Okay, compound interest they're asking, right? Okay, what is the investment here? 20,000. Investment is nothing but called principal. Principal is 20,000, right? If you want compound interest, this approach is recommended. I'll give two methods. This first method is recommended only when you are going with calculator alone. Second method without calculator also. Now see 1 year, first 6 months 4%, next 6 months 4%, so that entire 1 year will be completed. Right. Now here compound interest is 20,000 into 104% whole square minus 20,000. This will give the answer a single step, but this is recommended only when calculator is allowed. Sir, what is that 104%? Interest will increase your amount or decrease your amount? Because of interest, amount will increase. 4% increase, 4% profit means 104%. Interest is nothing but it is giving profit for you. In profit and loss topic we discussed, 10% profit means 110%. 5% profit means 105%, like that. Here 4% profit, okay, 104. How many times you are applying 4%? For 6 months, 4%. Next 6 months also. Why 2 6 months came? Half yearly. But what is the total time duration they're asking? 1 year. If it is 2 years means 4 half yearlies will come. Then what is the change? 104% whole power 4 you need to put if it is 2 years. In 2 years, 4 half yearlies will come. So whole power 4 will come. If it is 3 years, 104% whole power 6. This calculation, if you do, will get 1632. Sir, 104% whole square, difficult to do. Okay, that is why I said this method 1 is allowed only when calculator is there. You can use this method 1. I'll go for method 2, where without calculator still you can solve the question bit faster way. We'll see that. But note down this method 1. Okay, you have a space below that question. You note down the solution the same space. 20,000 is the investment principal. I believe everybody have a question. Okay, so within your booklet. So I'm just scrolling down. From here, solution will start. 8% per annum, 8% for 1 year. means 4% for 6 months. If it is compound quarterly, what you should do? Quarterly means 3 months, right? 3 months, what is the rate of interest? Now, same question, can anyone say, if it is quarterly, what is the modification I need to do? 2% for 3 months. Excellent. Okay. 1 or 2%? Whole power? 4. Excellent. Those who are focusing, see, same question if they ask in quarterly. In 1 year, how many quarterlies is there? 4 quarterlies. For 6 months, 4% means for 3 months, 2%. Then 1 or 2% whole power 4 will come. Whole power 4 because in 1 year, 4 quarterlies. 1 or 2% because for every quarterly, 2% rate of interest. Okay. Don't try to bahad the formulas in textbook. This modification, if you know, then no need of any formulas. And I'll let you know second method. So this method, calculation 104% whole square. We given one video. Already we did one video to do squares in faster way. 104 square, 110 square, all those things. You can use it and still you can do it fast actually. But okay, let it be. I'll give the other method to save in calculation point of view. I hope you copied this solution. Done. Now see the method 2, when calculator not allowed, how good you people are going to solve this question? Less time. Problem is time duration here. Now see method 2. In method 2, how simple you can solve this question. Now, what is the investment is 20,000, right? Okay. First half yearly, what is the rate of interest? First half yearly 6%. See, in introduction, in profit and loss we discussed, profit and loss is calculated on cost price. In compound interest or simple interest, interest is calculated on principal. Interest is 6%, principal is 20,000. Sorry, 4%, yeah. 4% for first half yearly, 4% on 20,000. 4% means 4 divided by 100 into 20,000. How much this is? 800. So for 6 months, for first 6 months, 800 is the interest. But is it 6 months or 1 year they given? 1 year. So I need to go for next 6 months also. Next 6 months, what is the interest? You know, 800. This 800. Whatever previous is that 800 plus. If you attend the previous introduction class, we said compound interest is nothing but interest for the interest. Interest for the interest. Chakravaddi, vaddi ki vaddi, chakravaddi. So why that name compound interest, interest for the interest is, already 800 is the interest, I am calculating 4% for that. For interest, I am calculating interest. That is why it is called compound interest. So what is 4% of 800? 4% means 4 by 100 into 800. What is this? Extra 32. So 832, right? Now, 1 year completed. Completed or not? Yes. Now, what is the total interest? 1632. See? Without calculator, people are able to do in faster way only. It will take bits less time only comparatively. There is third method we given in introduction, but this method will save time for you in exam. First one when calculator allowed, second one when calculator not allowed. P is called principal. Investment is nothing but called principal. Compound interest. TCS company for sure 2 questions from the simple interest. Compound interest. Profit and loss 2 questions. Percentage 2 questions. Seeding arrangements around 4 questions in TCS company. So this semester, what are the topics we kept are very important for all recruitments, not only TCS. If you have doubt why 4% is 4 by 100, we given already X% means X by 100. X% means we should write X by 100. We discussed this in profit and loss as well. Right. See the next question. Compound interest we are discussing. Simple interest already completed in previous session. Compound interest this is. Let's see about the next question. Hope you are done with this. Done? Right. Yeah, let's see about this question. Laila aspires to buy a car worth rupees 10 lakhs after 3 years. What is the minimum amount in rupees that she should deposit now in a bank which offers 10% annual rate of interest if the interest was compounded annually? They given clearly in the question, it's compounded annually, right? And Laila want to buy a car worth 10 lakhs after 3 years. Okay, see, now she want to deposit some amount, P amount in the bank. First year it is giving 10% interest. Interest will increase your amount. Second year also it is giving 10% interest, increasing 10%. Third year also your interest is increased by, your amount is increased by 10%. Then it should become 10 lakhs. Now the question is, what is the amount you want to deposit in the bank? Principal value you have to calculate. Or else we can put the question the other style, like what is the amount you want to deposit in the bank now? So that amount should become 10 lakhs, right? Here, population after 3 years is 10 lakhs. What is the initial population of the town? Every year the population of the town is increased by 10%. We can take in that fashion also. We already solved this type of similar questions in profit and loss as well. 10% increase means we can write 110%. Here also 10% increase means 110%. Here also 110%, 110%. Similar, this question is actually given in GATE exam. In GATE exam, they given this question where calculator is allowed. Yeah, because if you want that value, you need to use the calculator here. 10 lakhs divided by 110% means nothing but 1.1. 110 divided by 100, which is nothing but equal to 1.1. So whole cube, because 3 times it is there. If we do it, you will get around 7,54,000. I'll show using the calculator now. You can see 10 lakhs divided by 1.331. That is 7,51,315 approximately you can consider. This is the amount you need to deposit in the bank so that the amount will become 7 lakhs, 10 lakhs after 3 years. Whereas the next question is given in TCS, similar to the previous question. In previous one, rate of interest is same, but here the rate of interest is different. First year 5% increase, second year 10% increase, third year 20% increase, and the amount become 1,386. It is amount, not the interest. So when it is amount, no need to remove the principal. Okay, so P into 105%, similar to previous question, into 110% multiplied by 120% will give 1,386. Simplifying, you will get P value 1,000. Right. This question and previous question both are similar. See the next one. In this question, they given in how many years will a sum of rupees 800 at 10% per annum compound interest, okay, compound semi-annually become 926.1. So 800 should become 926.1. What is the extra amount you got? 800 become 926.1. What's the extra amount is? 126.1 means that is the interest. The compound interest in this situation is 126.1. Okay, so that 126.1 rupees is okay. How much time it is required to generate this compound interest 126.1? But they are doing compound annually or half yearly here. Semi annually means nothing but half yearly. They are doing compound half yearly concept, and the interest should generate 126.1. Rate of interest is how much here? 10% per annum. Annum means for 1 year. For 1 year, rate of interest is 10%. But in question, they are asking to do semi-annually. For 1 year, 10%. Semi-annually or half-yearly means 6 months. So rate of interest should be 5%. Okay, so why you are going for 5% means in question they specifically mentioned semi-annually. If they say quarterly, we'll go for 2.5%. Quarterly means. Okay, so depends on question. Here, as per the question, they given semi-annually. So we'll do, okay, two approaches. One approach is using calculator how to handle. Method 1 is using calculator how to handle. I want compound interest, right? Compound interest. Okay, should be how much? 926.1. I'll preferably, I think this is a easy one. I'll give first easy method. Then we'll see the complicated way of doing the question also. Easy method is interest is calculated on principal. First half year completed means 6 months completed. What is the rate of interest for 6 months? 5%. What is the principal here? 800. Interest is calculated on principal, whether it is simple interest or compound interest. The entire topic depends on the statement. Interest is calculated on principal. Interest how much is 5%? I need to calculate on 800. 10% is how much for 800? 10% means dividing by 10. 80. 5% is 40. Or else what is 50% of 800? 50% of 800? 400. Removing 10 is 5%. 40. 50% is half. Then removing 10 on both sides is 5% we'll get. So 40 is the compound interest for first 6 months. But I want how much compound interest finally? 126.1. 40 means okay, 6 months sufficient. But I want 126.1. I'll try next half year. Next half yearly. Second half yearly we'll go. What about second half yearly, sir? 40 plus compound interest is interest for the interest. We discussed this approach in introduction as well. For this 40, we need to take 5%. Interest for the interest is what? Compound interest. What is 50% for 40? 20. So 5% is nothing but 2. Or 10% is 4. 5% is nothing but 242. Now together 40 plus 42, how much interest? 82 in 1 year. Don't say 2 years. Half yearly. H means half yearly. First 6 months 40 rupees. Next 6 months you got 42. Means within 1 year you got 82 rupees as the interest. But our goal 126.1. We not reached. We'll go further. We'll see next half yearly as well. What about next half yearly? What is previous interest is 42 plus 5% for that. What is 10% of 42? 4.2. Dividing by 10 or 50% is 21. Dividing by 10 is 5%, 2.1. Okay, or else, okay, 10% is 4.2, 5% is 2.1. We'll get 44.1. Add all this, what will happen? If you add all this, 126.1 achieved. How much time? 3 half yearly is nothing but 1.5 year. Time is nothing but 3 half yearlies. It's nothing but 1.5 year. This question is given in ESC exam. Later you can check, search in Google. You can find given in engineering service exam. ESC exam. 1.5 year is the time required. Compound interest, interest for the interest. We given 3 different methods to handle compound interest. Okay, One among that and pretty easy one without using any calculator is this method. Right, so let's go to the next question. Compound interest. Hope you are done so far. Right. Now let's see about the next one. Our same question, if you want to do other approach means, if you want to do another approach, second approach or another method, then what you have to do, 800 should become 926.1, right? So 800 into 105%. Why 105% is? 5% is the interest for every half year. Whole power n should be equal to 926.1. What is that 926.1 is compound amount. 800 should become 926.1. How many times I have to multiply with 105%? Then timing will be equal to n into half year. N is how many half years are involved. N is not number of years here. How many half years are there? Okay, this is the other method, but for this, if you want to do, you need calculator or logarithm concept to be applied, taking log on both sides. N log 105% is equal to log of 926.1 divided by 800. We need some calculator to support this. Okay, whole power n, if you want to do this, better that two logarithms you need to know. Logarithm table required, then we can do things. But okay, this is not recommended in exam. This one you can go ahead. As we expect, we'll try to practice the questions without calculator most often. Only few companies are allowing calculator, that to virtual calculator in exam. Even in ESC exam, calculator not allowed. GATE and TCS is the one which is allowing calculators. Virtual calculator. Next question. This is compound quarterly. Previous question compound half yearly or semi-annually. This is compound quarterly. And we already solved in previous session regarding compound annually. In introduction also we discussed compound annually concept. Now quarterly. So what is the rate of interest here? 20% for 1 year. Okay. Then quarterly means for how many months we need to worry about? 3 months. 1 year means nothing but 12 months. You need to bring it to 3 months means we should divide by 4. Then 5% for 3 months. Rate of interest is 5% for 3 months. So why you are going for 3 months is they clearly mentioned the question compound quarterly. We are worrying about compound quarterly here. Okay. Now the question, how many quarterlies is there? What is the total time duration? 9 months. How many quarterlies will come? 3 quarterlies. In that entire 9 months duration, 3 months here, 3 months, again 3 months. So total 9 months duration. In total 9 months duration, you have 3 quarterlies. Okay, now we'll see in 2 approaches, preferably like previous method what we discussed for half yearly. You can approach this quarterly concept also. Or else you can go with equation method as well. Equation method also okay. So you need to apply 5% here. Again 5% you need to apply here. Again 5% you need to apply. How many times that 5% should be applied? 3 times. As it is 9 months. If it is 1 year, 4 times. 2 years means 8 times we need to apply. That's the only change, right? Okay. Now, okay, compound interest. Method 1 in equation format if you want. Compound interest is 16,000 is the principal, right? Into 105% whole cube. If we stop up to here, this is called compound amount. CA means compound amount. We need to remove the principal because what is the extra amount? is what? Interest. We have to do minus 16,000. Sir, why in previous question you are not doing minus 16,000? Is this is amount only. 800 become 926.1. That is amount, not interest. Interest means remove the principal. Here they are asking what in 12th question, what you have to find? Find the compound interest. Means we should definitely remove the principal 16,000. If we do this, so this is time taken. Yes, this is the one you need to use when calculator is allowed. Because 105%, that whole cube multiplying with 16,000, all those can be done. If calculator is there, you can do it a bit easy. Otherwise, it will be definitely taking time. What are the tricks you people know? You are good in multiplication also, it will definitely take some extra time. So, if you see the second method, as we discussed in previous half-yearly concept, first quarterly. What is the interest for first quarterly? 5%. What is the principal? Interest calculated on principal, right? So principal is 16,000. What is 10%? 1,600. 5% means 800. First quarterly 800. What about second quarterly, sir? 800 plus 5% for this. Calculating interest for the interest is what? Compound interest. The name compound interest is interest for the interest. Sir, how? See, 800 is the interest. For that, I am calculating 5% interest. So 10% is 80, 5% is 40. It become 840. Next, third quarterly. 840 plus 5% of this. 10% is 84, 5% is 42. We got 882. Adding all these three, that's what the compound interest. I hope you got 2,522. 2,522 is the compound interest in 9 months. Says it? How? No, 840. Previous one, not 800. 840 plus 42. Previous interest, how much for that? You need to add, not for 800 plus 42. This is 840 only. Previous one plus 5% for that. Previous one plus 5% for that. You can check previous. Here also what we did, this is 42 previous one. 42 plus 5% of that. $840 here, okay. Fine, this one you are talking, okay. 840, good. 840 is correct, not 844. Right, so total compound interest is 2,522. Next question. So we discussed half yearly, quarterly, annually. Already we discussed in introduction, and we are focusing more on compound interest related questions because that's the reality. Now everybody is using compound interest only, but in exam still they are asking simple interest. That's why we discussed. Otherwise, practically everybody is applying compound interest concept only. You no need to ask going to the bank what type of interest. By default, they'll do compound interest only. But you have to ask whether it is annually or monthly. They'll do monthly only in bank. When you're taking any loan, they'll add interest to the principal every month. Here we're discussing every 3 months interest added to principal. But they'll do every month, they'll add interest to the principal. Next question series 13th one. A sum of money becomes 2,200 after 3 years and 4,400 after 6 years using compound interest concept. Okay. What is the sum? Sum means nothing but principal. The question is, what is the principal? We know in introduction, compound interest is having multiplication effect. Simple interest is having addition effect. Compound interest is having multiplication effect. That you can check here also. Money become 2,200. Means that is amount only. 2,200 in how many years? 3 years. And 4,400 in 6 years. Now they're asking principal. Principal is the amount you borrowed, you taken the loan. The amount you borrowed from other people or you taken the loan is the principal. From there, timing will start. For your basic info, okay, timing will start when you take the loan. From that date, what are the day you take, from there, timing will start. That's the zero. Timers will start from there. So they're asking what is the p value, right? Now, if you have a clear observation in this question, what this is, in 3 years, the amount become double. The amount doubled in here. How much gap? 3 years. Means amount should be double. So p value must be 1100. That's what multiplication effect in compound interest. Double in every 3 years we can say. As per this question, if you observe those last two terms, 2,200 become 4,400 means double. In how many years means 3 years. In every 3 years it become double, double, double likewise. Multiplication effect here. The question is regarding principal. P must be 1100. Then only doing double will become 2,200. Very important for TCS company as well. They'll ask two questions from this topic. Why not? What are the company which is putting quant in the recruitment? Quantitative aptitude is there means definitely simple interest, compound interest will be there. Profit and loss will be there. We're done with those topics already. Next question, and this is an excellent question, practical question everybody should know for your future point. Okay, you should know. Okay, when you take a loan and you are doing some payment back, and what is the pending amount, all those you have to know. This question they're asking after 3 repayments, what is the pending amount? Maybe some people already taken some education loan. Every month you are paying some amount, or maybe after 1 year you are paying some amount. What is the pending still? That if you want to know, this should be there. So far we discussed 13 questions. Okay, no question is related to this model. You are repaying. What we're discussing is, okay, what is the amount become after 3 years? Not, the interest only adding, you are not paying anywhere. But this is the question which is reality. You people also know, maybe your parents taken some loan. Every month they are paying some amount. Or maybe you taken some fridge in EMI. Okay, you are paying some amount every month. Okay, you can pay extra amount also. EMI, they'll fix some 1,000 rupees. If you want, you can pay extra also. Then if you pay extra, then what is the pending amount? How they'll calculate that? This question will guide. And this question we discuss compound interest 3 methods. One equation model failed here. Because every month, okay, it is every year they are paying amount. That equation model will not work out. That we discussed in 16,000 into 105% whole cube minus 16,000 won't work. And the other one said that shortcut 3 months we are adding some interest, then again interest for the interest, that also won't work. Only one method, first method what we discussed in compound interest only will help you. Here what is the amount borrowed or principal is? 12,500. If they not mention the question, go default compound annually only. Compound quarterly, half yearly not given in the question. Means default will go annually. Why annually, sir? Among all these, annually is easy. If they not mention the question, we'll try to do easy works. So we'll do compound annually here. So 12,500, first year completed. What is the rate of interest they given? 20%. Okay. So 12,500. What is 10% for that? 10% for 12,500 is 1,250. 20% means 2,500. Okay. Introduction we discussed up to here. Means the pending amount is 15,000 now. If you keep just like that. But they're paying 2,000 at the end of every year. So the 2,000 should be removed. No, sir, I pay 4,000. Okay, 4,000 should be removed. First amount, they'll take it for interest. If it is extra amount, then they will reduce from the principal. Okay, or else what 15,000 is the pending amount. You pay 2,000 means 13,000 is pending after first year. No, sir, I have some extra amount. I'll pay more 5,000 means then 10,000 is the pending amount. This is 15. It become 15,000 after first year. You pay 2,000 means the pending is 13,000. No, sir, I will pay 5,000 means pending will be 10,000 only. Okay, that's the policy also. If they give EMI also, we can pay extra amount. There is no constraint. Less than that, we should not pay. We can pay more than that. Okay, then you can calculate what is the pending amount, then when to close. Those calculations it required when you people enter into your job, you take some home loan or car loan, whatever it may be, these things you need to keep in mind. Okay, so 13,000, okay, fine. Or some people are planning to rotate the money what you have in your hand, but at least you should know these calculations if you want to do that. Now, second year, 20%. So 13,000 is the pending amount. 20% for that is 10% is 1,300. 20% is 2,600. If you don't pay, it becomes 15,600. But what they said, you are paying 2,000 at the end of every year. Pending amount is how much? 13,600. Next year, third year. What is third year rate of interest is 20%. 13,600. 20% is how much? 10% is 1,360. 20% is 2,720. Okay, here also you paid 2,000. Then pending amount is 14,320. Sir, why you stopped for 3 times? What they given in the question? After 3 such repayments, what is the pending amount is? 14,320. Wait, some people say option C. Listen. Some people are doing this approach. This is wrong approach. See, some people claiming like this, sir. 12,500 into 120% whole cube minus 12,500 means interest, sir. They are paying 2,000 every year minus 6,000, sir. Like 2,000 into 3, sir. Why this is wrong? Clearly, try to have a basic understanding why this is wrong. This approach, no need of 12,500. They're asking amount only, right? What is the pending amount? So you can pending amount. Okay, minus 2,000 into 3. So some people are doing like this. Sir, go with 20% interest every year or then remove. This is you are removing 6,000 after 3 years. Removing 2,000 every year or removing 6,000 after 3 years, there is a difference. Clearly, they mentioned one point at the end of every year you need to remove 0.1. And second thing, see if you do after 3 years, what will happen? Here instead of 13,000, what will come? 15,000. For 15,000, 20% is 3,000. Next, it become 18,000. Amount will increase. If you don't remove every year, if you want to do at the end, the amount will be huge. That's what problem for me during my BTech calls. I taken a loan every year, second year, third year, fourth year, around 50,000. We don't pay any interest at that time. Okay, we thought of paying at the end. Then after 2 to 3 years of my BTech, when I pay, I taken 1.5 lakh, but I paid more than 3,25,000. The amount will be huge, more than double, because if you don't pay the interest, or like I mean to say, at the end of every month or at the end of every year, if you pay, okay, that amount will decrease. It will increase. If you pay some amount, it will decrease to back to the same. If you don't pay, it will keep on increasing, and you pay after later means that value will be more. Then you paying at the end means it will be huge amount only you need to pay. So make sure at least if you don't pay the principal, at least pay the interest. Otherwise, that will accumulate, and it will keep going with a big value. You may need to pay more than double also. In fact, that's what the thing. That's what I say. Right now, you may not understand what's the importance. Going forward, when you take some home loan or car loan, you may realize. You talk to any people, those who are taking home loan of 60 lakhs something, after paying, they may pay more than 1 crore 30 lakhs like that, 1 crore 20 lakhs like that. They'll take 60 lakhs, but they'll pay more than 70 lakhs interest. Interest is almost equal to principal. That like it will be double. Okay, so you need to know all these parameters going forward. Maybe in future you can understand what's those all. Okay, right now you may not get that points, but this subject or this topic especially will help you to be successful in your career, not only with the salary, how to use the salary efficiently, okay, whether to take loan or not, okay, whether to save the amount or not, all those things. But one thing from my end, maybe I said before or not, okay, always when you enter into any job, first in safe hand, have the 3 months salary in your bank account. That should be like your zero amount. Let's say your salary is 50,000 means 1 lakh 50 should be there in your account. Because maybe, okay, companies, we can't say any big company also, okay, they may have some ups and downs. That company may be terminate you if you are good performing also. You need some 3 months breathe time to change the other company. Don't think next month, next day itself you got other job. So anything, okay, safe said always 3 months salary, then only you'll be confident, okay, to do whatever you want to do in your life. Okay, you don't get that fear. If you don't do have some amount, every month you will be having that fear in your mind. You don't work properly also. Okay, you always need to keep at least 3 months to 6 months salary in your account. Consider it's a 0 rupees. After that extra water it is, then only you need to use. That thing always you keep in mind, please. Okay, that's always should be there in safe hand. Some, okay, boys will think in that way. Girls, what they'll think, okay, sir, instead of the 6 months amount, 16 to 3 lakhs, we'll purchase one necklace, we'll keep. That will be there whenever you want, we'll sell it. But that's also not actually good thing. Okay, gold, what a lot of people will think, okay, is like, sir, that's a, maybe we can consider that's a saving amount, like. No, actually, I can say, because when you, I'll just tell you practically, I experienced that also. When you take the gold, let's say you are taking 10 grams of gold, 6,000 per gram means 60,000, let it be. But they'll add 20% yearly, wastage, GST and all. When you want to put that in the bank, the reality, 6,000 per gram in market means any government bank is going to give hardly 3,500 per gram if you want to take gold loan. Means you will get half amount only. Instead of 3 lakhs, if you put it in the bank, you will get 1 lakh 50 only. In addition, they'll go for that loan process amount, all those. So you don't get half amount also. Sir, no, I will sell it if the situation is not good. If you want to sell also, go to the same showroom where you purchased. Okay, they'll reduce the amount 3% for the gold 60,000 only. That you already paid 20% extra. They don't give that extra wastage amount and all. GST in all you paid, that they don't give. They'll give only if the 10 grams, 10 into 6,000, 60,000, for the 3% they'll reduce and they'll give. You paid almost 75,000. Why 75,000? 60, 10 grams, 60, okay, that wastage, that design cost, or maybe GST, everything you paid. But when you are taking the cash in the same shop, you go, instead, okay, they don't go for 75,000, they'll calculate only on that day, 10 grams, what is the amount? They'll reduce 3% for that. So, but I'll suggest always to have some 3 to 6 months cash itself. Like this is not okay in your account. I mean to say that should be always there. That's safe. Safe. Next question here, what they're saying: minimum amount required in compound annually concept so that your amount should be more than double. What is the rate of interest? 20% interest. Maybe last 5 minutes, what are I discussed, you people may not understand now, but after 5 years, you may realize. Hoping that everybody will be settled and good in your life, there you can realize. Similar question they given in GATE exam, but in GATE they said only to be doubled. Okay, they given options like 3 to 4, 4 to 5 like that in GATE exam, but here they given more than double. This question, GATE exam 2 marks question, both similar actually. The amount should be more than double. Okay, what is the amount they given? No, means if it is 1,000, what it should become? 2,000 or more than that, right? So let's take, okay, 10,000 or 2,000, 1,000 your wish. I'm taking 10,000. Okay, in how much time? It should be more than double. Means more than 20,000 we require. Now first year completed. First year interest is 20%. So 10,000 plus 2,000, it become 12,000, not double. First year completed. Second year completed. What is second year interest? 20%. 12,000, 10% is 1,200. 20% is 2,400. Amount become 14,000. It's not a double. We want 20,000 or more than that. 2 years completed. Next year, third year. Rate of interest 20%. So 14,400, 10% is 1440, 20% is 2,880. It becomes 17,280 only. Is it double? No. 3 years completed. Next, fourth year, what is the rate of interest? 20%. 17,280. 10% is 1,722, 728. 20% is 3,456, 3,456. You can see it's more than double. How many years it is required? 4 years. Answer is 4 years. More than double. Amount become more than double. Time required is 4 years. This is annually concept. No need to take 10% for 6 months and all. Annually this is. It become more than double in 4 years. If calculator allowed, what you can do, 10,000 into 120, 120 like that, 120% you will do until it become 20,000 more than that. How many times into 120% you did is the answer. In GATE exam, what they given, same question with small change. Amount should be doubled in how much time? Options they given 223, 324, 425. What's the correct answer? Double only. Double means it should become exact 20,000. 20,000 happened in between 2 to 3? No, in 2 years it become 14,400. In 3 years it becomes 17,280. 3 to 4 years. By the time 4 years it's more than double. By the time 3 years it's not double. So in between 3 to 4 years it is exactly double. In GATE they changed that 1 point they given. Okay, when it become double, options they given 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5 like that. So answer is 3 to 4 years. In between 3 to 4, exactly 20,000 will come. Okay, close to 4 years in fact, but fine, they given the option. No need to go for exact timing. They given options like that, 2 to 3, 3 to 4 likewise. So this is regarding simple interest and compound interest. Hope you understand this. Let's see the next topic.